What's up, everyone? Hope everyone had a great proactive day today. Hope you spent your time wisely. Hope you're getting after it. I know it's a bit chilly out there, but y'all should be working out and running still. If you didn't do that, man, you should be reading a book, learning a new skill. If you get bored and you have nothing else to do, just practice something you already know. Just get better at it, man. If you did nothing else with your day and you played video games or watched TikTok or TV for a couple hours, you need to pay extra specific attention to this video. This is very important. Today, I'm giving my 5 perspectives on what I think the biggest issues with Gen Z are. To preface this, I'm not saying that I'm perfect or that I haven't dealt with any of these. In fact, I've dealt with multiple, if not all of them, at some point in the past. That being said, y'all, this video is for people that take extreme interest in the behaviors of humanity, or perhaps maybe a young intellectual entrepreneur out there that, might be one of y'all that goes out there one of these days and solves one of these issues. If you get a new perspective out of this video or you get any value from it, go ahead and, like, comment, and share this with someone who's also interested in this subject. I'm sure there's a lot of boomers out there that'll like this topic for today. So make sure y'all share it with everyone of all ages so that they can also learn how I feel. All right, number 1 issue is going to be, fitness and nutrition. Business Insider says that only 1/4 of Gen Zers, right? You're talking about people that were born 1989 to 2013, I think. Only 1/4 of them are eligible to even be in the military because of obesity. Then, also, Washington Post says that over 56%, or it's right about 56% of adults 18 to 25 suffer from being overweight or obese. I'm sure most of y'all can relate to this, but growing up in school, nutrition, like proper nutrition, how to eat organic food and vegetables and proteins, was never taught in school. Maybe we learned like the food pyramid in elementary school. But I would say it wasn't until high school until I actually chose a nutrition class, as well as got into gym culture and learning how to eat, that I actually started to care. I think the lack of care around this subject and just lack of proper classes that teach this subject have led to these numbers, as well as just family culture, man. You go to your grandparents' house and you drink a couple sodas. It's just, it's not as important as it used to be, or as it needs to be. So here's a couple, just a little quick tips for you if you have absolutely no idea where to start. I'll just tell you a few things, man. Drink more water. If you need an energy pickup throughout the day, put down the soda, put down the energy drink. Unless you're going to the gym and you need that pump fuel, right? You should only drink coffee. Fast food. You got to stop eating fast food, man. Maybe once every month is okay. And then with sodas, you have a Coke maybe once every month, once every 2 months. Okay. All right, y'all. Number 2 is going to be technology. I forget where I get this statistic, but the average screen time for a Gen Zer is 6 hours and 5 minutes, man. That's a pretty crazy amount of time. You think about how many waking hours you have plus your sleep, you already have 14 hours, pretty much more than halfway through the day, just through sleep and being on your phone. That's not even, considering work or anything else. I think a lot of this exposure has to do with us being the first generation that has only had the experience of always having technology. Like our parents, they had a moment in time where they just had regular phones, like track phones, cord phones or whatever, but they never had that their whole life. We are the first generation that has had full exposure to this type of technology. Social media, TikTok, YouTube, Netflix, TV, and video games have turned our whole generation into a group of people with reprobate minds. The rise of mental illnesses have drastically increased, especially in our generation, I think for multiple reasons. However, I think a lot of those reasons just can be sourced back to the technology and the wide availability of technology. Number 3 is drugs. American Centers AmericanDrugCenters.org reports that Gen Z drug use outpaces all other age categories in overall usage. I believe that a lot of modern aspects of society, including the previously mentioned technology, have done a terrible job at glorifying the use of drugs. If you ask anyone my age, I guarantee you, if you specifically ask them, they can give you a half mangled argument on why they think weed is better than alcohol, or ones are better to use than others. And don't even get me started on nicotine, man. I think like the earliest that I started vaping, or the first time that I hit a vape, was probably in middle school. And in high school, man, you would be amazed to actually find someone who didn't vape rather than the amount of people that actually vaped, you know?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, our generation, man, has been definitely a victim in society's propaganda in stating that, you know, some drugs should be okay to take and rely on. As well as our generation's also pretty bad at just delaying gratification to themselves, you know. These next two perspectives are a bit more subjective, and you know, I don't have, you know, specific statistics to back it up. I think if you analyze people and you observe the behaviors, macro and micro, I think that any logical person or intelligent person would derive the same conclusion that I have. Number 4 is, I'm going to say, Gen Z struggles with empathy for others. If you look at younger people's behaviors in general, whether it be in public or wherever they may be, I think that you can tell a lot of them are a lot more selfish and a lot less focused on objective morals. In general, I think that Gen Zers, when you're out in public or even on social media, our body behavior and how we interact with those around us is completely secular. I mean, if you just go to Walmart, half the people can't even start up a conversation with someone because they're either glued to their phone, or they're not glued to their phone, and they can't even strike up a conversation. Or when I'm walking on the trails, I try to wave to everyone, or wherever I'm driving, I see a cool truck, I'll wave at them. I guess that's a micro thing to pay attention to. But people just have trouble waving and smiling at people and starting conversations with them, man. I also see a lot of younger people that don't have a great work ethic, and they can't even work good in teams, in team environments, and especially at jobs, man. I mean, at their jobs, and with the way that they depict videos on social media that are so antithetical to teamwork, it's actually embarrassing. More specifically on social media, but also in public, you just see a general disregard for people's emotions and their well-being. We just struggle to really remember that the world is not centered around us only. Hey y'all, had to change up the scene for you. This is number 5 right here of Gen Z problems. I think this is the most important one that kind of links back to everything else. That is going to be the empathy for themselves. Well, this may sound a bit antithetical to my last point, because I'm saying that, they lack empathy for themselves and awareness of themselves. But, I would make the argument that spending frivolously on fast food and not eating the right things, or just buying the things that are cool in society or based on social media, I would argue that those are actually selfish. If Gen Z had better empathy for themselves, we would actually learn how to and care about how to eat properly, how to work out properly, the importance of being physically fit. We would actually increase the amount of sleep that we get. I would also argue that it's very selfish in a bad way to not be financially literate. I would argue that if Gen Zers had more empathy and oneness with themselves, they would actually value education and learning new skills that actually contribute to society and businesses. If Gen Z also had empathy for themselves, they would realize the importance of church and having a spiritual connection with God. If we just had more empathy for ourselves, we would realize that being hypnotized by what society wants and not chasing after our own aspirations, dreams, and values, we could achieve a lot more. Alrighty, y'all, this is my final word. I know that this video, seems kind of pessimistic and critical. And if you don't like it, go ahead and comment down below why you didn't. And debate is an important thing. We can hash it out below if you'd like. If you did like the video, if you're an intellectual that likes being aware of the issues that Gen Z is going through, also like, share, and comment, man. Share it with someone that shares the same values as you and likes to be aware of what's going on in this society. My whole goal for this video was to speak in a way that, hopefully one of these points speaks to you, or, you can relate to it just a bit. Maybe it impacted you in such a way that, it's inspiring change within you, or, maybe one of you young entrepreneurs out there will go and make and find a solution to one of these problems. It's important to remember that as a society, when we stop discussing these issues, or we just go around and say, oh, well, those aren't real issues, we can never move forward and make things better in this world. And it's important that we constantly improve, constantly learn new things. Future looks bright. If you got anything out of this, go ahead, like, comment, and share, and subscribe for more content like this. Y'all have a great day.